Okay, the camera is absolutely shite. The camera is absolutely shite. Let me put the brightness on. Display. That's better. Now I can see myself. So basically, it's been the first week of summer holidays here in the UK, and it's been the first week of summer holidays, and it's been absolute shite. Let's just say it's been absolute shite. The reason why is because it's fascinating. The first week, none of the clubs had been opened. The first week was just tiring. It was exhausting. All the holiday clubs have not opened. They are open this week. Second week, they decided to open. I don't know, maybe they just want us to like bond with our kids for the first week or something, or just to tire us out, punish us out, as if like, the whole end of last 2 weeks of the school holidays hasn't been enough. They want to add a bit more pressure on the mums. So yeah, it was not very pleasant. um, Routine obviously went out the window. There was a lot of lying in, obviously, because you're so exhausted, you're like lying in. So the routine's all over the place. And then there was like heavy rain, like so we couldn't even go places because it was wet. And yeah, we were just really frazzled, and everybody was knackered, everybody was tired. So by the end of the week, we were looking forward to do activities. So the weekend, luckily, I had booked myself to help out at my local festival, and I went there with my kids, and it was brilliant. We got to catch up with other children. My friends also looked like exhausted because it was, the end of school term. She works as a teacher, so we know how exhausted she must feel. Um, she looked like she had life sucked out of her. But by the end of the festival, the old friend of mine returned. Let's just say that. So yeah, no, it was really really nice. Like the festival season in the summer in London, brilliant all over the UK. It's just festival. So usually these summer festivals are like 2 day affair. So Saturday is obviously the biggest, hypest one. A lot of people are going to all these other festivals. Like there's some sustainable festival going on. We went to the African one. So there was like live African music, and they were brought from the motherland. Everybody was wearing like the brightest clothes they could find, big bold colors, shapes, the whole shebang. I had my print on, and no, it was great. So it is currently festival season. And yesterday I went again because I was part of the organizers as well. I was involved, and it was a more laid back because it was Sunday, but it was still nice. It was chilled. It was just like a giant church service on Sunday, but African choirs, like proper African choirs, and it was brilliant. It was just lovely. A lot of singing, a lot of dancing. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. Couldn't ask for anything more. And it was also nice to go out of my usual area into a part of London that I don't normally have no business to go to because it's on the other side of London. And that was great. I think that was a treat. I'm so glad. And and yeah, and on the train was packed full of people, all sorts of Irans, weddings, people wearing matching outfits to go to weddings. Like they had their whole like they spent over like £1,000 on their outfit. You can tell like the green, the matching hat, the shoes. Like people were like everybody was on full display, like full festival mode, full display. You know what I mean? It was great. It was great. Um, I didn't go wearing my national outfit. I didn't know. Um, because I was working, I wanted to be more comfortable. I don't really want to stand out too much. Do you know what I mean? Like on the second day, 'cause it was Sunday, it's chilled. So yeah, I didn't. But my friend did. She came wearing the most amazing outfit. It was great. It's cotton. It was very beautiful, and it was nice. It was absolutely nice, and it was just an all-around amazing event. My neighbor, who's familiar with African music, she came. She had a brilliant time. It was great, and yeah, no. Um, although I only ate meat on a Saturday, I didn't want more meat on a Sunday, like because it's an African event and they're very big on meat. I'm not having meat meaty stuff. Thank you very much. Saturday's meat was enough, and I'm not a jollof person either. I could not eat the jollof rice. It was too smoky for me. It's an acquired taste which I just could not handle, so I had to trade it with chips. And today I just decided to have a Chinese meal. I really missed Chinese, so I had Chinese, and it's like brought me back to back in the day what I used to eat Chinese meal. Yeah, it was just really good. So yeah, the first week of the holidays was it was awful. It was just hard. Like it was just rubbish. And from looking from Instagram, all the other mums felt the same way. None of the clubs were open. Everybody was exhausted. Children were whinging, and the second week is much better. The second week, I feel like we've got like a better routine because the holiday clubs are a lifesaver. They, help break the day. They get to do some activity. All the planning doesn't fall on mummy. You know, so it's a good way of um, it's a good way of planning your day because they're going to that particular holiday club and things like that. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that and yeah, just let people know that the summer holidays can be a very, very stressful time, very tiring. There's also a lot of cleaning, decluttering, getting rid of old toys because those old toys have no business being here. So I had to throw them away. Okay, they had to go like I had to say bye Felicia to them, seriously. Like but I did leave like the decent ones. I put it in a bag and I couldn't throw it because my kids love to play with those dolls. Some of them are very sentimental. Like I did save some from the skip, because some of them were just like collector's item dolls. I'm like, I don't want to throw it out. My daughter loves to play with that. So yeah, I left it, outside for any person that would like to collect my dolls, and I just think that's a good way of like, what's the word? Recycling, like upscaling. Recycling is really fashionable. Upscaling and recycling is really fashionable right now. So I did put it in a bag and I left it outside. So if anybody wanted it, they can go and take the dolls. They want to give it to their kids, whatever. I just think that's a really nice way of keeping your dolls and not throwing them. Not getting rid of them because it's quite sad. Oh, yeah, it's just people don't want to part with their children's stuff. It's sad to just chuck it away. Like it's nice to give it away. There was also when I went to throw my dolls, somebody had like kept like some decent boys' clothes, like Adidas tracksuits, nice jumpers, nice tops, and folded it nicely and just left it on the rail for anybody that wanted it. And I think that's such a nice way rather than throwing it away and it ending up in the dumpster and shipped to Africa, polluting the bloody beaches of all these people's unwanted clothes. We're recycling and trying to give it to the next, you know, generation that are younger that could do with that nice pair of boys' clothes. Because, I mean, I have girls, so I don't know about boys, but I do know their clothes are more expensive. Boys' clothes are expensive for some reason. It's just like, girls' clothes are very cheap. Like I find it like cheap. So um yeah. So that was really thoughtful of that person to, put it aside and, not throw it. Just like I didn't throw my dolls. I kept my dolls aside because some of them are very sentimental and some of them are, quite expensive collector's items. and I put it in a bag, and if anybody wants to play with it, the next child can play with it. I just think it's recycling. It's all about sustainability and, protecting the environment. Black people can be into that as well, because all this tacky fast fashion clothes are ending up in the continent somehow. They're ending up in West Africa. And, I just think that Africa needs to just refuse any more secondhand tit tat crap rubbish coming from all over the globe. Like, they just need to say no. They need to say no. No to the hell no. Like, no more. Like, keep your crap. And I just think more of us need to start recycling here and stop having things shipped out to the Africa. Like, Africa's not the world's dustbin. Like, just stop sending us crap. Let us reuse some products. Let's do something sustainable. We can do sustainable art, sustainable fashion, upscaling, recycling, that kind of stuff, helps, promote um, against climate change, because the other day it rained like for 2 days and it was just dripping and dripping and dripping. It was just so hot. I mean, it was just wet, and because it was so wet, we couldn't go outside, and a lot of parties had to be cancelled. Like, this is summertime. We've got so many parties to go to, so many festivals to go to. It's great. Like, it's just the whole vibe. Like, the vibe is great, and the fruits are blooming. Like, today I happen to have found some lovely cherries. There was some plums next door. Then there was some figs, and then there was I feel like I'm in the Garden of Eden. There's just food everywhere. Like, it's just on the tree, and it's just so good. Like, honestly, it's organic. Like, it's there to be foraged, and you need to take it out. It's called guerrilla foraging. Call it guerrilla foraging. So you're foraging what's available instead of buying it. Yeah, and that's also another good way of, again, not wasting it. Like, why waste all that food? Normally it ends up on the floor, and the birds are so fat in London because there's so much like fruits to eat, and the birds are really picky because they've got so much food to eat. They don't want it all because there's so much. Like, they just get the best part on the top. So yeah, we need to start harvesting a lot of fruits here in London. There is a 100-year-old, like, 6 hazelnut trees on a row every day that just end up on the floor every year. Squirrels just have a feast. The squirrels are so fat, they're just binging on hazelnut. Well, that hazelnut could have been harvested and kept. Figs, I love my figs. I know which tree to go to when the figs are ready. I go and harvest it myself. I don't care. I do not care. I collect my figs because this season is a very good harvest because we've had good sun and the figs are going to be ripe. I go and collect my figs. I don't care. I collect. I know which tree to collect. Every year I have an abundance of figs, okay? I mix it up with banana and it's so yummy. So I know which tree to harvest, which apple tree that I like. And I think more of us need to start doing that, putting it in bags to stop spending like £3 on 4 apples. It just does not make sense when you can go and pick it off a damn tree like Adam and Eve. Like, seriously, like, all those apples are lying on the floor, like, just wasted. It's just not good for the environment. Like, this is pure food wastage. Like, anyway, so I think I need to I can't stand food being wasted, and I'm gonna like get involved in that, like how to stop wastage, how to stop wasting food because it could go to good use. There's no need for us to be like, you know, buying stuff and chucking it away. We can we should be able to. There is enough food for everybody. We don't need to be wasting it. We don't need to be producing so much that's going to end up like in the garbage bin. Like, this is the whole thing of sustainability. Just like I'm involved in sustainable art, like I use recycled stuff, and it's the summer holidays, and we should really be more creative in terms of, finding things to do. Like, I just spent an hour with my kids playing on a bamboo stick. Like, they were doing the limbo, they were hopping on it, like poking over it, going underneath it, crawling underneath it, just to keep their imaginations alive. And yeah, so we need to, like, nature is great. Nature is a great way of helping sustainability and stuff. And that's just what I want to do. That's what I want to do right now, is finding the best sustainable art and using your initiative and just, like, using your brain and stuff. But yeah, last week was absolute um, terrible week, crappy week. There was no holiday clubs. They've started this week. So thank God for that. Thank God for helping me survive the first week of the summer holidays, which was absolute torture, boredom, and tiresome. And I had to go through a whole deep clean, like throwing out old stuff, and yeah, so and also do that with the horrible, like, with the horrible, what's the weather? With the horrible um wet rain. So yeah, so hallelujah to all of us, and may we get through this summer, um, this amazing summer. It will be great. And thank you for the wonderful harvest we have this year. And things seem really promising. And I just hope that you guys can look around and see the wonderful harvest too. Anyway, I'm Mr. Rena Star. I've been back with another vlog, and I'll be back again